welcome back to my house. Filming downstairs today because my room's a mess right now because we're supposed to be going, or we are going, I should say, to Florida in like less than 2 weeks. And that's my packing room, so downstairs it is, right? Also, it's like May, what did we just say today?
It's freezing.
8th. I'm literally dressed, as my mom said, like a woolly mammoth because it's freezing cold here in Buffalo.
And windy.
And apparently we're still in winter, so here I am dressed like a woolly mammoth, and my mom's dressed like summer.
Not really.
Okay, so we haven't filmed a video actually at home in a while because thankfully we actually went back to Disney, so we got a break from just me rumbling on and on and on at home. But I still wanted to make 2 quick videos until our next trip videos go up. So this one is going to be about what things we noticed that were different with COVID and maybe some good changes and some bad changes. So we're just winging it. I have no plan whatsoever, so we'll see how it goes. So I was just kind of like going through like start to finish, I would say, like what changed, right? So obviously like travel is different. You know, you're wearing a mask and things are a little bit more spaced, but I would say the biggest change and probably our biggest thing that we disliked was the Magical Express change, right?
Yes.
So when you get, you know, they still have Magical Express, so you can still go pick up the Magical Express, but you can't, there's no luggage service. So you have to pick up your own luggage, which we've kind of put in our top 10 mistakes before, I think, was that we just don't like picking up our own luggage. We definitely get spoiled because we bring a lot of luggage.
Too much luggage.
Yeah. And so
too much.
Yeah, way too much. How many suitcases?
4.
Usually 4.
Yeah.
For the 2 of us. Sometimes 3 if it's a short
Really?
trip. If it's a short trip. So, you know, we had to go get our luggage, and it's on side A, and then the Magical Express is on side B.
And you're lugging it and lugging and lugging and lugging it.
And like, it's not like it's like we bring 4 suitcases to make them lighter. They're all still like 50 pounds, so it's like
or more.
200 pounds of luggage. So that's just annoying. I mean, like you do it if you land late at nighttime, but I don't know
Yeah,
why.
it is annoying.
It just feels
It's
different.
one extra step you have to take before you get there.
Yeah.
And it's just time consuming. And you just want to get there. You want to get off the plane. You want to get on the Magic Express. You don't want to have to be bothered with your luggage.
Yeah. And that was like one of the big perks. And so it's kind of a bummer because we were just saying today, like we feel like that's probably completely gone for life because Magical Express is obviously ending. And do we really feel like they're going to bring it back for like the last however many months of Magical Express, like 6-7 months of Magical Express? Probably not.
Probably
so
not.
Hopefully they at least bring back like the curbside check-in at the hotels.
Yeah, that's a pain too.
Because at least that's like, I mean, through the airport. So hopefully they bring that back, but we don't know. So that's like the biggest, I would say like that was my biggest annoying COVID change.
Yes.
Wouldn't you say so too?
The plane itself was fine.
The plane was, I mean, I got a little nervous on the plane, but.
Oh yeah, but you get a little nervous no matter where we go. No.
That's true. I do get really bad anxiety.
No, we both do though, because you don't know what to expect.
Yeah,
you know?
Not just with COVID. I'm just always anxious. It's not just cold. I really look like I'm wearing a blanket, but guys, I swear it's a coat. And I'm wearing a sweater over a coat.
Looks nice and warm, and I might grab it.
So, anywho, that was the biggest thing. And then getting on the Magical Express itself was a little different. There was assigned seats on there. But everything else on the trip to the hotel felt normal. When we first got there, it was kind of weird. We stayed at the yacht club. There was no one there to greet you. But I think that was just a weird time because then like throughout the rest of their stay, we saw people there greeting.
Yeah.
But like the usual guy who's dressed like a captain wasn't there.
No. And we had to lug our luggage.
Yeah, we couldn't find anyone at Bell Services. Well, we were kind of in a rush, but like we couldn't find anyone at Bell Services, so we had to drag our luggage all the way to our room, which wouldn't be a big deal except for our room was quite possibly as far away from the lobby as you could get, and it's carpeted.
Yeah.
It took us, we timed the walk once. It was 5 minutes from our room to the lobby, and that's without luggage. So.
And add 200 pounds.
And we were like sweating. It was horrible. But anywho, so that's the biggest like things when we got there, and then right after that we got on a bus, and so the bus are different too. So you can only put so many parties on a bus and you have to be seated, and to me I actually don't hate that change.
No, I didn't mind that. And there's plexiglass between the seats.
Yeah, I mean personally I've always been a big fan of personal space. I was a germaphobe before being a germaphobe was cool. So so you know, I actually really like it, and I don't like standing on buses because half the time you're on a bus and it's like your legs hurt, or you know what I mean. So like
I don't like that standing. It seems dangerous to me anyway, standing on a bus, especially when you stop.
Yeah, when you stop. But I'm sure that's not like a permanent change because they can't really get enough people on the buses, obviously. So like only like however many people, maybe like 20 or 30 people can get on a bus. And so like, you know, obviously the more crowded the parks become, like the more that's going to be an issue, or the more that the hotels are filling up.
I think we'll notice it this trip because there'll be more people.
That'll be harder to get on a bus.
Yeah,
I think so too. So, what else can we talk about? Fast passes.
Gone.
So that's the other big change that I was kind of like hit or miss on. Like, kind of wasn't horrible without fast passes. And I don't know if it was because it wasn't super crowded when we were there.
I think that's had a lot to do with it, though.
But I mean, the capacity is going to be the same when we're there next trip. I mean, so I guess I was listening to a podcast where they say capacity is kind of weird, right? They're still at 35% capacity, but okay, so now they're filling every row and it's a small world. So that actually increases your capacity and it still stays at 35%. So, you know what I mean? So you can put more people in the park now because this ride holds this many people. Right. So it's kind of a skewed number. But I mean, I can't imagine like filling a few extra rows on It's a Small World makes a huge difference in capacity. Right. But they're doing that on a lot of rides, so I'm sure that makes a difference. So I mean, that was one thing. But we were saying it was kind of nice because sometimes you're just kind of tied down too much, right?
To a time. Yeah.
To a time, right? It's like, okay, I was gonna wait in line and stand by for Peter Pan's flight, but it's 45 minutes, and what if I don't get out in time and I'm gonna miss my fast pass for Space Mountain? And so like that, I think sometimes you kind of stand around a lot waiting for the fast passes, and the windows are pretty long. I mean, you get 5 minutes before and 15 after, so in total it's an hour and 20-minute window. But sometimes it just doesn't work out, or you're like late in a dining reservation, you know what I mean? So like there's a lot of factors, and I felt like I
kind of liked it.
I was gonna say, I think we kind of did a lot more. Now, I think I'd be annoyed if there was no fast passes at all.
Right. Ever.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be happy when they come back, when the crowds come back, but also I think if they're a paid option, I'm not like opposed to that either, because maybe less people will use them. And I mean, I think like if people had fast passes and we didn't have fast passes, I'd be annoyed.
The lines were deceiving too, because you thought you would have to wait forever, and it was maybe a 10-minute wait, and it looked like it could be a half an hour, 45 minutes.
Yeah,
but it wasn't.
Yeah, that was on my next point was.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. It was that, you know, like with the spacing, the 6 feet distance, which I think they're dropping to 3 feet soon anyway. The lines looked very long.
They did, yeah.
And for sure, they overestimated the wait times on probably 90% of the rides that we went on. So the wait time would be like 45 minutes, and we'd wait like 30, or
sometimes we walked on.
Yeah, sometimes you walk right on.
Space Mountain twice in a row, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, and that was listed at maybe like a 20 or so minute wait. And yeah, so the lines are deceiving, so don't be intimidated by the lines. Specifically, like someone was telling me, no, I heard on a podcast, I didn't talk to this person personally, but that like the Big Thunder Mountain Railroad ride that we actually got out of once.
Yeah.
Like it goes over the train station, like where Splash Mountain is, back down, goes through the whole queue, and they said that that's actually not more than like a 30-minute wait. But when you look at it, it looked like it would be like over an hour. Yeah, 2 hours. So that was crazy. So yeah, don't be like too intimidated. And I think the longer you're there, the better you can read the line situation. But then sometimes they trick you. So like we got in line for a dinosaur, and I was like, oh, this isn't a very long line, but we hadn't been in it yet.
Right.
But it went all the way in the back, and like we just didn't expect it. We waited like more for dinosaur than we waited for
anything
almost. Or Flight of Passage. Like I think Mickey and Minnie's maybe was like the longest we waited for anything, but
the Navi River. Did we wait for that?
Navi River we waited for a long time too. Yeah, so don't be too intimidated. That's definitely a big COVID change too, is just like the spacing, and people aren't really paying attention, so I feel like no one's really that spaced.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden you'll move like 25 feet.
Oh yeah, it's bizarre. Yeah. So I don't know how that happens either. Or if they do cleaning cycles, right? So I feel like sometimes you get stuck in a cleaning cycle, so you're not like moving, and then all of a sudden like they start, like Kilimanjaro, we started literally at the Lion King show.
Right.
That's where the queue started, and we were like taking tons of pictures and exploring the queue, and then all of a sudden we walked right to the line. It was crazy. Like it was so weird. I don't know if they just put more cars out or what happened, but yeah, so don't be too intimidated. But we don't like to wait in lines typically, but we did a pretty good job.
We were very patient, although it wasn't hot. It was weather was decent.
I think it'll be different. Like something like Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, where
in the sun,
it, like the whole queue is outside for the most part. Like that's gonna be tough.
They had a couple umbrella tables up, I think. Didn't they?
But that's not gonna really.
They might add more.
Yeah, they're gonna have to.
Yeah. People can't wait in that intense heat.
Although I guess they did last year, but it probably wasn't that crowded. We missed like the boat on the nice crowds because we couldn't go because we live in New York State.
We do.
The other big thing is mobile check-in for dining, which I actually really liked too, because a lot of times we're not even like that close to the restaurant and we're kind of running late. not a lot of times, but sometimes. So you actually, like, for example, one day we were in Hollywood Studios, we went on Rise of the Resistance, and then we like sprinted out of there and had a reservation at Beaches and Cream, so we like sprinted there, and we were like running a little bit late for the reservation, so I checked in as we were kind of like 5 minutes away, and checked us in, and so that way I wasn't like actually late because I checked in on time on the app, and it always takes a few minutes for them to seat you usually, so that worked out. But it's kind of nice. So you check in, sometimes an alert will pop up. Actually, I think every time an alert popped up, either 15 to 20 minutes before, and said, hey, you can check in for your reservation now. And you would check in, say how many people you had, if you had any allergies, if you're celebrating anything, and that's how you checked in. And it would take your cell phone number, it would text you and send you an alert through the app to say that your table was ready. And you would just go up to the host stand and they were ready for you. If it was in a park, you did not get your temperature taken. If it was out of the park, you did, but they're dropping temp screens, so I don't think they'll be doing that. I don't know if the hotels are going to be still doing that.
And the time for your reservation was pretty prompt.
Yeah, we didn't really wait. That's the other thing. I mean, it's a lot harder to get reservations right now because they're not fully booked. I think they're like 50% capacity maybe at the restaurants, or maybe even less. I don't know. I would imagine like as more and more things open up that will also get better, because not all the restaurants are open right now either. So we'll see how that goes. But the restaurants were pretty nice. Like a positive COVID change that for sure is not going to say is that as a party of two, a lot of times you're seated as a table for two, and it's kind of annoying. So you're usually like stuck between other tables, and you can hear conversation super easily. But we were obviously spaced, but also a lot of times we were at a table for four, which was really nice. I mean, we had a few table for twos, but like Mama Melrose, we were at a table for two, but it was fine because we were next to a wall. There was no one around us. Like we could actually like hear ourselves talk. So that was like a nice positive COVID change. So, but again, that's not gonna last, obviously. So, what else? The big thing that's gone, the big annoying other thing that we found very annoying that's now gone was the cup situation.
Oh yeah.
Thankfully that's gone. I'll briefly touch on it, but if you got a cup at the food court or whatever, what do they call? Yeah, food court.
Yeah, fast food, whatever, or whatever it's called.
Quick service.
Quick service.
Yeah, at the hotels or the resorts, if you got one of like the refillable mugs, like you had to bring your mug down to show them that you had a mug, but they couldn't actually touch the mug to fill it for you. So you would get a plastic cup or a paper cup, and then we would just have empty mugs out. Like my mom had to carry them in her backpack all the time. Like it was because our room was so
Although
far.
we never did think to bring the receipt each time.
No.
That would have made more sense.
Yeah, I mean we probably should have. But thankfully it sounds like that's gone and you can refill your own mugs, because that was annoying.
That was annoying.
Obviously they're distancing in the quick service restaurants too, so that was annoying at the yacht club because it's so tiny. Like sometimes you would have to wait just to go in to get a snack or something. Or
just to go to the store or whatever.
Yeah, so, but I mean, it is what it is. And like a lot of the stores were like at the Emporium, like had a pretty long line a lot of times that you couldn't go in. Although that was also kind of nice when you're in there, because usually the Emporium is like nutso. Yeah. But I mean, personal space, like, it's kind of nice to have personal space back. But again, this is probably not like a lingering...
No. The World at Disney store was pretty nice too, wasn't it? It was spaced out pretty well. Yeah, everything was really nicely spaced. We didn't go on the monorail kind of for that reason, because it's pretty hard to get on the monorail because you have to be seated, I think. And what else? We skipped. Oh, we didn't need the monorail for any reason.
No, we didn't do any boats.
No.
What else? We didn't do.
Didn't we do a boat?
No, I don't think so. Oh yeah, we did. We did the friendship boat. I don't think that was spaced at all, though.
No.
That was weird. Some things were like really strict, and some things weren't.
Yeah.
I would say in general they were pretty strict. We were
maybe because it's open.
Yeah.
You know, more.
Yeah, but
open.
you have to wear your mask. Well, we had our mask on, I guess, but you have to wear. That's like the weird thing about, like, obviously it's kind of funky. Like the CDC's like changing the rules kind of slowly, right? If you're outside in a small group of people, especially if you're vaccinated, like you don't have to have a mask on. But because Disney's obviously a large group of people, you have to have a mask on, even though it's outdoors. But then something like the boardwalk, if you're walking around the boardwalk, there's clearly no one around you. You still have to have your mask on, and like that, I think, is
walking the boardwalk to like Hollywood Studios with a mask.
With a mask
doesn't make sense.
No,
with
like,
no
there's
one around.
No one around you. Yeah. So I mean, and I'm sure people probably don't have their masks on, but I'm like
we were rule followers,
so we kept our mask on, and we didn't really take it off unless you're my mom and you forget to put your mask on. Sometimes.
Sometimes
she wears it 24/7 a day at work, but can't remember to put her mask on ever at Disney. Okay, sorry, we're back. My mom had a sneeze, apparently.
I did.
So we were trying to think of what else we were going to talk about anyway.
No, we weren't drinking. Oh, yes, we were drinking.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say we did actually have some wine before we filmed this. Okay, anywho, my mom's phone was ringing. Sorry. So we are talking about what? COVID changes. Okay, so
COVID changes. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, anyway, so what was one? Oh, first thing, so we were talking about the menus of the restaurants. A few things about them. First off, there's like really no menus. They're all QR codes, which is kind of annoying. Although, I mean, you have to have a phone obviously to check in. So, I mean, I suppose it's probably not an issue right now, but I would imagine when international travelers start coming, like it's probably gonna be a bigger issue.
Excuse me, how about old people like me who didn't quite know how to use it?
Well, now you know how to use it. Yeah.
But I mean, it's a learning curve.
But I just mean in terms of people not having internet, right? Like if you're international, but like there's really
they'll change that.
They'll have to change it. Yeah, there's no international travel, and I'm sure they have like laminated menus if you wanted them. But everything was QR code, and then the menus are pretty limited, so they seem to have dropped quite a few things.
The nuggets.
Yeah, they don't have nuggets right now. They have chicken strips. And, like, the chicken strips are okay.
But they're no
depending
nuggets.
At some places. Like, we had them at Cosmic Rays and they were horrible. And we had them at Backlog Express and they were actually pretty good. But there was plastic cheese at Backlog Express, so that's probably a difference. Yeah, so stuff like chili cheese fries are gone. And, like, you know, just plastic cheese and, I don't know, just regular snacks that we used to get at a lot of places. So, I mean, hopefully that comes
limited.
back.
Yeah, I think it will.
I'm sure it will. And I don't know. Can you think of anything else? I'm sure. I feel like we're missing probably like obviously there's hand sanitizer everywhere. Yeah. You know, like
it took place of the bug spray.
Yeah. Yeah. When Zika. Oh, remember when Zika was the thing? Yeah. That's actually kind of funny. Yeah. I mean, it's not funny. Zika wasn't funny.
Zika is gone and now
Zika's not gone.
Oh, well, I mean, COVID's taken over.
Yeah,
is what I meant to say.
There's like hand washing stations, but there's obviously signs everywhere. You know, like markers. I don't think they take away from anything though. Like
no, and I think a really good thing I found is that they are really diligent about reminding people to put their masks on and on properly. And I think that was a really
that was like a pretty constant reminder.
Everywhere you went.
When we were there, sorry, I dropped the remote. Hold on.
I'll take over right now.
When we were there, we were not able to take our masks down for photos. That rule has since changed, so we're pretty excited that we can get some PhotoPass pictures, or you can take pictures by yourself too if you're not around anybody. But when we were there, that was not a rule, so they were constantly yelling at people like in front of the train station, which why were you taking a picture of the train station? Because it's covered up right now.
Right.
Whatever. Right. But like being like, you need to put your mask up, mask goes over the nose, you know, and they like will kick you out if you don't have your mask on. So I was gonna say, like, I felt safer at Disney than I felt at Wegmans, which is our grocery store here. Like
I told everybody that even at work. I said I felt like I wasn't the least bit intimidated by being there. You know, I wasn't afraid of getting anything. I said I think everything was done to perfection.
Yeah, we felt, you know, the rooms were definitely very clean when you walked in there.
The remote was in plastic.
Yeah, the remote was in plastic because it had been cleaned. You know, what's probably dirtier than the plastic outside the remote? I don't know, because my mom wouldn't let us take the plastic off.
Hey, it's there for a reason.
It's there for a reason, so you open it, and then the clean remote is inside. You're just touching the plastic that they touched.
We survived.
That doesn't make any sense. Well, we were also
no sense.
We were vaccinated, so
that's true. But the remote wasn't.
I mean, we also know that COVID doesn't last on surfaces as much as we thought it did. So, I don't know. I feel like that was like the big changes. I mean,
but they weren't bad changes.
No, I mean, really, like I said, like the really only annoying thing to me was the luggage. Now, a lot of my friends who have gone there said that they really hated how the lines were spaced in terms of people not paying attention, and like
that happens
like,
anyway.
Occasionally, it bothered me, but it didn't. Yeah, you're right. Like people are always looking at their phone anyway, and so I mean, we missed like certain pre-shows. I guess that was another big thing. A lot of the pre-shows, because the lines are so spaced, like the Haunted Mansion, there's no stretching room.
Oh yeah. Well, that's okay.
We missed like Vicky Minnie Runaway Railway. That was our first time riding it, so we never got to experience the pre-show of that, which I actually looked up on YouTube recently, and it's pretty cool. So I mean, it'll be cool to see eventually, and it kind of makes a little more sense with the story.
Tower, was there anything?
No pre-show there. So all of like those big like Aerosmith, like none of those had pre-shows anymore. So.
Which was kind of nice not to watch it for the 55th time.
Yeah, I think if that's your first Disney trip, though, you would miss it.
Well, you wouldn't miss it because you wouldn't know, but then if you saw it again, it'd be kind of
like,
cool.
Oh, this makes sense, or something. Yeah, kind of like Tower of Terror, like, the kind of explains the ride, right? Like, whatever. But,
the whole TV thing was gone, right?
Yeah, I mean, the room's there, obviously, you just walk through it. But there's no pre-shows of anything, so... I mean, obviously they don't want people to linger, but they also need to space people out a little bit more. I thought they did a good job spacing people. Like, there were queue spots, like, when we were in Tower of Terror, you were back by Phantasmic. One other big thing is that the shows aren't running right now.
That's true.
Which, that's a bummer, I think. Oh, yeah, duh.
But they had, like, the queue through, the Lion King show for what?
For the safari.
So they use a lot of those places for the queues.
Yeah,
that's why some
but the
things
Lion
aren't
King
open.
show's coming back this summer, so they must have figured out something else. But I mean, like, not even so much those shows, but like the fireworks are kind of a bummer. I mean, I get it. Like, obviously, there would be way too many people standing in the hub to watch fireworks, but it's a huge part of Disney. And for me, like, there's literally like a child-size shirt that was like, I'm just here for the fireworks, and like that would be my shirt if it was made in an adult size, because I love Disney fireworks.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. And I always said they could just bring back Wishes. This would be ample opportunity to bring back Wishes, because there's no projections, and so people could watch it forever. Bring back Wishes.
Bring back Wishes. I wish.
And then the other big thing is characters. Duh, I forgot about this too. So that we can't meet the characters. The character cavalcades were pretty cool.
Yeah, they're cute.
And we get to see them. It's not the same. We went to one character meal kind of on a whim. We didn't actually even know it was a character meal until we got there. So we went to Garden Grill at Epcot in the land, and it was cool. They were behind us. Like, you still got to see them. And then we saw Cinderella at Cinderella's Royal Table. It's just like it's a little bit of a bummer. Obviously, you can't like
for kids especially.
Yeah,
but you could like take like a selfie.
Yeah, you could take a selfie.
And, from the distance.
Yeah,
they'd be behind you. But
we were always concerned about the mask too. Like, I feel like anytime I got up from the table, like I should have a mask on, and like you. Like, I don't know, like, and they said it was fine, but especially at Garden Grill, like, we were right next to people. I don't know, I would have been nervous about taking a selfie. I mean, I guess you could take a selfie with a mask, but the parades are kind of cool. We were like in one at one point. That's obviously not the same as well. I guess I don't really understand why you can't meet characters if they're not face characters.
I think maybe it's their clothes. Everybody's too close to them, and then the next people come up and
that's true. But again, like, we know it doesn't like.
I mean, their fur. I should say.
I'm
sorry, I meant to say their fur.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I guess that's probably true. I'm sure like stuff will like come back, and
eventually
they're bringing it back to the Halloween party, but it's not going to be the same thing. So.
But it's going to be a check.
So I think we forgot about the characters in the shows, but I don't think anything else was really different. I mean, we'll be happy when Fast Fesses come back, but we were okay without them. I'll be happy when dining reservations go back to 180 days out, just because 60 days feels a little stressful to me, and especially right now with a lot of restaurants closed, it's actually quite hard to get reservations.
Especially now because there's more and more people going.
Yeah, I think, we have a hard time. Like, I've been looking for like an Oga's Cantina reservation for like weeks now, and I can't find one. Especially that place, it's so tiny. And I'll be happy if luggage service comes back at all in any capacity. We said it earlier, we'll pay for Magical Express or whatever Mears is going to be calling it. If the luggage transportation comes back, or I guess if not, we would still probably do it. But it's just nice not to have a car. And, we'll be happy when the shows and the fireworks and the characters.
When things get back to the way they were.
Yeah.
But right now it wasn't bad.
We were just happy to be there.
Yep. It was a year.
Yeah. It had been a year since we had been there, so we were pretty pleased. So overall, can't complain.
And we're going soon.
Yeah, we're going soon. And then, what else was I going to say? Next video, I'm on the fence. I have 2 ideas. I was going to do like my backpack collection, because I have a lot of backpacks, but I don't think I can talk for more than like 5 minutes about those.
Really?
But my friend Christy, who I've mentioned in every single one of my videos, it seems, suggested that we do our top 10 festival foods. So maybe I'll do that instead, because I need one more filler episode until we go back to Florida. So. All right, guys, leave in the comments what you guys thought was different, or what you did or did not like about the COVID changes, and we will see you soon. Please subscribe and share with your friends. Bye!